Okay, the last couple of days, I'm sure people, well, those who watch any of the news have heard about this architect of Obamacare. The guy's name's Jonathan Gruber. I believe he's an MIT graduate. He's the one that's been running around saying that Americans are stupid, that they don't know what's good for them, that it's beneficial, that they were not transparent with Obamacare, that they manipulated people, that they made the language twisted so that even the Congressional Budget Office didn't know how to properly score, that they've lied, outright lied, and relied on the ignorance of the American people. Because what they've done, just for instance, what they do is, see, they can't just go tax you because nobody wants to pay more taxes. So what they do is they tax the insurance company. The insurance company then has to turn around and pass that cost on to you in the form of an increased premium. Hence, it's an increased tax, and something Republicans have always said: corporations don't pay taxes. People pay taxes. This is exactly what this idiot, and yes, he's an MIT graduate, but he's an idiot. Obama is a Harvard graduate. He's a moron. This just goes to show you that these Ivy League schools, these elite schools, aren't what they're not all what they're cracked up to be. So anyway, but Republicans have long said corporations don't pay taxes. When you hear the government wants to raise taxes on corporations, that just means they want to tax you more, not the corporation, because the corporation will pass the cost on to the consumer. Hence, the consumer pays the tax. Plain, it's simple. We know this. Anyway, it's kind of curious. Not a single Republican voted for Obamacare. It was all Democrats. Now, that makes you wonder, are the Republicans just simply the smart ones? Or were the Democrats either one, stupid, and they were the ones duped by the Obamacare law, or were they two, complicit in the cover-up? Either way, they're either stupid, and they're not really suitable to serve in Congress, or two, they were complicit, which means they set out to purposely screw the American people, because they know what's best for you. You don't know what's best for you. Now, I'm going to tell you right now the easiest way to kill Obamacare, if you want this law gone, okay, simple. You'll need to call your congressman, call your senators. What someone needs to do is propose and pass a law. This is very simple, you guys, but I didn't go to MIT, but this is how easy it is to totally tank Obamacare. Congress needs to pass a law, send it to the Senate. Senate needs to pass it, send it to the President, make sure it's veto-proof. One sentence. A tax shall only be considered a tax after a voluntary act of commerce by an individual or corporation. Okay? Period. That's it. When that's done, they cannot tax you. See, the government can't fine you for not buying Obamacare, but they can tax you because the Constitution gives them the power to tax. That's what the Supreme Court said. So, think about that. If you don't buy something, they can't tax you. Obamacare collapses. Because think about this in your own life. When do you pay a tax? When you buy a car, you pay a tax. When you buy a house, you pay tax. When you buy groceries, you pay tax. When you buy a cell phone, you pay a tax. It's always after you bought something, that's when you pay the tax. What the government has done now is saying, well, if you don't buy this, we're going to tax you. So, people, call your congressmen, call your senators, and simply say, please, pass a law that defines a tax that is something that follows an act of commerce. It comes at the backside after somebody purchases something, plain and simple. Now, let me bring something else to your attention. This Jonathan Gruber, and please, if you don't know who he is, just Google him and YouTube him. He's got lots of little videos out there that have come out of him insulting the American people about how stupid we are. But what was interesting is prior to 2010, prior to the passage of the Obamacare law, I had a Blue Cross Blue Shield policy, family policy, health, vision, dental. $342 and some pennies every month. And it was excellent coverage with a good deductible. Okay? I had no problems with it. Loved my policy. Obamacare passes that quick. Boom, that fast. I think it was about 26% increase. Bam, just like that. Okay? And that was in 2010. I guess it was in July of this year, I finally let the policy go. It got up to $504. And I just decided not to keep the policy anymore. So, but let me tell you what's interesting. Back before Obamacare passed, the president came out and said we were going to save $2,500 on average, per family, because what was happening is there were a lot of people going out and getting medical care and not paying for it because they didn't have health insurance. Okay? Now, let's listen to exactly what the president just said. He said people were getting health care and not paying for it. So his thinking is if everybody had health insurance, the cost would come down. Well, technically, that's true. However, what the president just admitted is that people were getting care. They were getting care. They were seeing doctors. Okay? It's not that they didn't have care. They were getting care. They just weren't paying for it. So now here's my question. If part of my premium at $342 a month, part of that premium I was paying was due to the fact that people were getting care and not paying for it. So that cost is passed on to people who do. So at $342, everyone was getting care. Well, then we passed Obamacare. A bunch of people got their policies canceled and had to go on the exchanges, and my premium went up. And some people now have a policy, but they're not getting the care because doctors are refusing to take this. Deductibles are so high they can't afford the deductible. It's a nightmare. Well, so I was already paying at $342 a month. I was already paying once, so people could get care who weren't paying for it. Then my premium went up to provide for this stuff. So I was paying a second time. Well, then 80%, right in that neighborhood of people signing up on Obamacare were getting subsidies. So now I'm paying a third time, 3 times. I'm paying for people who don't have insurance. And then insurance companies have bailouts built into the healthcare law. 4 times now, I'm going to be expected to pay for something I was already paying for the first time at $342 a month. People, do you not get this? This is why call your congressman, call your senator, and say, you guys need to define by law what a tax is. And a tax should only be considered a tax when it follows a voluntary act of commerce by an individual or corporation. That is it. Okay? Period. End of discussion. That simple. Obamacare's done. Then we can get back to the business of fixing the healthcare system. Because frankly, what's more important to you people? Having a health insurance policy or actually being able to get care? You know what? You can run around with a piece of paper that says, ooh, I have insurance. But if it's so freaking expensive and the deductibles are so high that you can't afford to, use it, what good is it? So folks, think about it. This is simple to fix. It's just going to take a bunch of people getting together and saying, you know what? What we had before was leaps better than what we got now. Obamacare sucks. And hey, here's the numbers. 8 million people have signed up. 8 million. And of those 8, about 5 million were people who had insurance policies before who got them canceled and had to go on to Obamacare to get insurance. So all these, hundreds of billions of dollars that have been spent, what have we gotten? 3 million lousy people signed up. And I even doubt those numbers. Okay? So folks, please, call your congressman, call your senator, define what a tax is, and Obamacare is gone. All right? Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.